Loud luxury is easy to spot, but real wealth is not. 7 signs separate the quietly wealthy from everyone performing the part. They range from digital habits to hidden legal structures. Each one is harder to fake than the last. Number 7 starts on your screen. Number 7. Digital silence sets the first filter. The quietly wealthy leave only faint traces online. A private account here, a handful of posts there. Their social feeds are sparse, sometimes locked down entirely, with no flood of product shots or luxury hashtags. Instead of daily updates, you will find months between posts, often focused on experiences rather than possessions. Likes and comments are minimal, and followers are usually limited to close friends or family. Social media analysts have found that this pattern of low frequency, muted aesthetics, and a preference for privacy signals a deliberate choice, not just indifference. While anyone can mimic digital minimalism, for those with real resources, it is a conscious shield. This subtle restraint is the most easily copied sign, but also the most common entry point into the world of stealth wealth. Number 6. The quietly wealthy rely on an understated wardrobe built on craftsmanship rather than logos or trends. Instead of flashy logos or trend-driven silhouettes, their clothing is defined by fabric, fit, and finish. A Loro Piana overcoat in rare vicuna or a Brunello Cucinelli cashmere sweater signals status only to those who recognize the tactile difference, softness, weight, and drape that mass-market imitations can't match. Invisible stitching, hand-finished seams, and the absence of external branding are all deliberate choices. Private showrooms and bespoke tailors replace department stores. The result is a consistent personal uniform that never shouts for attention, but quietly communicates access to resources and a deep knowledge of quality. For insiders, the real badge is not a logo, it is the unmistakable feel of a garment that can't be bought off the rack. Number 5. The invisible service layer sets a bar that is hard to clear. In quietly wealthy households, a single property steward manages the entire operation. One discrete point of contact who coordinates cleaners, landscapers, and seasonal crews, so the owner never needs to interact with a visible staff. There are no branded vans in the driveway, no uniformed teams bustling through the halls. Instead, maintenance happens at night or during off hours, leaving public spaces untouched during the day. Vendors arrive through side entrances, often guided by text message rather than a clipboard or work order. Estate managers describe this as a choreography of privacy. Every detail is handled, but the machinery remains hidden. This level of operational discretion signals not just wealth, but a preference for privacy that cannot be faked by simply buying expensive things. It requires property scale, ongoing expense, and a mindset that values invisibility over spectacle. Number 4. Invitation-only networks operate as the real velvet rope of quiet wealth. Entry isn't granted through a public application or a flashy display. It is filtered by personal referrals and guarded by confidentiality agreements. Clubs like Augusta National and the Yacht Club de Monaco keep their guest lists unpublished, and they enforce strict rules against revealing member names. Admission often requires a current member's direct sponsorship, sometimes followed by a private interview with a committee. Instead of logoed apparel, members carry a discreet metal card, brushed steel, matte black, or gold-plated, bearing only a number or a micro-engraved name. No one flashes these cards in public. They are tucked away in a wallet, signaling status only to insiders. This system creates a social filter that money alone cannot always buy. The result is access to exclusive deal flow, private events, and information networks that remain invisible to outsiders. In these circles, privacy and trust are the ultimate currency. Number 3. Asset allocation reveals what the quietly wealthy value most: invisible, appreciating investments. Instead of pouring money into luxury cars or headline-grabbing purchases, their portfolios lean heavily toward private equity, rare art, and prime real estate, assets that grow quietly over decades and rarely make a public appearance. Industry studies show that ultra-high net worth households often hold up to 40% of their wealth in these illiquid, private markets. Art, for example, has delivered average annual returns of 8 to 10% over the last decade, outpacing many public equities. These choices do not just shield wealth from attention, they allow it to compound, generation after generation. While middle-class status seekers chase the next trend, the quietly wealthy build their fortunes where few are looking, trusting in patience and privacy over spectacle. This is wealth that works in silence, visible only to those who know where to look. Number 2. The family office stands as the ultimate infrastructure behind quiet fortunes. These are not just accountants or personal assistants. Single family offices operate more like private corporations, handling everything from global investment strategy and tax optimization to security, philanthropy, and even travel arrangements. The scale is staggering. An estimated 10,000 family offices worldwide now control nearly $7 trillion in assets, according to industry surveys. Regulatory filings in the United States often require a minimum of $100 million in assets under management to qualify. Most family offices are structured as LLCs with names like XYZ Family Office LLC, offering no hint of the individuals behind them. Inside, teams of lawyers, risk managers, and portfolio analysts run operations with the same rigor as an institutional fund. This level of organizational maturity is almost impossible to replicate without generational wealth. For those on the inside, the family office is less a luxury and more a machine, engineered to preserve privacy, compound assets, and quietly guide fortunes across decades. And finally, in first place, ownership concealment marks the deepest layer of quiet wealth. Here, affluence vanishes behind a web of legal structures, trusts, offshore vehicles, and nominee directors, all designed to erase the individual from public view. Trust deeds split legal and beneficial ownership, placing assets under the stewardship of a corporate trustee in places like the Cayman Islands or Jersey. The real name never appears on a registry, only a shell company or a numbered entity. Special purpose vehicles, often set up in secrecy jurisdictions such as the British Virgin Islands or Panama, hold real estate, yachts, and art, masking the true controller. Nominee directors and shareholders, provided by corporate service firms, sign on the dotted line but have no real stake, just a name for the paperwork. The Panama and Pandora Papers revealed how these arrangements enable fortunes to move unseen, with only a handful of addresses, often just mailboxes, tying together billions in assets. Unlike a tailored suit or a private club card, this level of invisibility cannot be faked. It requires not just resources, but a team of lawyers, years of planning, and a commitment to privacy that turns wealth into a ghost presence, real, powerful, and almost impossible to trace. Across all 7 signs, one truth stands out: real wealth hides in plain sight. Stealth wealth isn't about looking rich, it's about moving differently. Subtlety is the ultimate status signal.